You know this song. Let us affirm how much we love ourselves today. So much that I can love you. Amen. Here we go. I love myself so that you can start loving me. I love myself so much that I can love you so much. That you can love you so much. You got it. That you can start loving me. Yeah, let's do that again. I love myself so much that I can love you so much. That's right. That you can love you so much. That you can start loving me. One more time now. I love myself so much. Yes, I do. That I can love you so much. That you can love you so much. That you can start loving me. Say what that you. I love myself so much. That I can love you so much. That you can love you so much. That you can start loving me. Oh yeah, you can. You can start loving me. Yes, you can. Yeah, that you can start loving me. Yeah.
That was fun. So we always begin our announcements with gratitude, and today I'm grateful that it's the first day of fall because I know I love fall. And I like fall because the first day, it's usually the 21st or 22nd, but today they said it was the 23rd, and I thought, okay, whatever. Regardless, fall is when we plant, when we plan for the springing. We put in all those beautiful shrubs, and they sleep, and they rest, and they store up over the winter, and then bam, in the spring, vibrant beauty, right? Well, our azaleas have come in from WRAL. They donated beautiful azaleas to us. We are excited. So we are going to have a planting party on Saturday, October 13th. That's the plan right now. So if you want to participate either as a planter or as a bringer of lunch and food, see Andy. Andy, raise your hand. Andy, and where's Becky? There's Becky. Spiritual Social Action Team, but also landscaping team. So actually, this is just the landscaping team. Andy and Sharon Shadan, who is not here. If you are on that team or if you would like to participate in planting these flowers or bringing lunch in for everybody, see Andy after the service. This is going to be fun to beautify our space. We already have the crepe myrtles going, so let's add those azaleas for next spring. Today's flowers are unsponsored, and when the flowers are unsponsored, we like to give them to a volunteer. Today, we are going to give them to Louise, our office staff. Because Louise is kind of the dynamic duo. It is her birthday. When was it? 2 days. In 2 days? 2 days ago. That's what I thought, too. You know, Google. I knew, even Jeff goes, happy fall yesterday. But so it's in honor of Louise's birthday. Now, Louise's staff, but Louise is also a very good volunteer in this church. She is on the fundraising team, and she is at every event. Yard sale, Hearts and Unity lasagna dinner, homecoming, bringing hands and feet and lots of love to this community. So, Louise, we just love how you love us, both as staff and as a volunteer in this beautiful church. And to prove how much we love you, we're going to give you these gorgeous flowers from a local farmer. Happy birthday. So hello to everybody who is here for the first time. Welcome, and thank you for being our honored guest today. So now we would like to invite our kids to go have a wonderful day in Sunday school. And I think the Uniteens are meeting. So every Sunday in September, so we have one more week, we are collecting clothing for kids for Note in the Pocket. Also, we are collecting food, easy to open and eat food for the Red Cross and the food bank and to take to Eastern North Carolina. We learned about an aviation project where small planes are flying down to Eastern North Carolina with food and water. So all those hurricane supplies you bought, bring them to church, and we're going to be delivering them so that food in Eastern North Carolina, folks in Eastern North Carolina can have foods. So thank you for doing that over the next few Sundays. And Note in the Pocket ends next week. See Jane. Jane raised, yes, Andy? Awesome, because there were some things in the kitchen. So if you brought food today, see Andy after the service, and let's just load it straight into his car. Thank you, Andy. Awesome. Jane is working the wig making project for kids with cancer at UNC hospitals. Jane, raise your hand so that if anybody wants to participate. So far, 5 wigs completed. Can you imagine how gorgeous those kids look in those beautiful wigs? I love how we bring hands and feet to our love for people throughout the Triangle and for these children. That's awesome. Next Sunday, mark your calendar. It's a 5th Sunday concert and potluck. So everybody, you're on the hospitality team next week. Bring a dish to share, and let's have lunch with our church family after the service. Team members and volunteers, we are having a volunteer potluck on Wednesday, October 17th. The theme is Courage to Heal. We're going to have discussion and exercise, group exercises, and a little mini workshop talk with Rev Bev. These are really fun. You bring in a potluck dish. It's 6:30 to 8:30 on that Wednesday night. It's in your bulletin. I have sent out an email about it. RSVP to me so we know how many folks are coming, and we will have free childcare that night if you need it. So definitely mark your calendar. And something I am really excited about, on Sunday, October 21st, Matt Jones is coming to our church to be the guest speaker and to also do the workshop on creating your brightest future. Now, Matt's this young guy. He's a 3-time cancer survivor. He calls it cancer, not survivor, conqueror. And he had to learn to walk. And he has run 6 marathons on 6 continents. So he's got this really upbeat and inspiring message and workshop about using action and attitude and vision. It's going to be just awesome. And last, we have a youth ed lock-in on Saturday, October the 6th. So parents, make sure that your kids are in the loop so that we can have another great overnight camp out in the sanctuary. It's going to be a lot of fun. And remember, we have a chair takedown after the service. So why don't we now prepare for the peace and refreshment of meditation with Rev Bev by singing the song In the Silence.
In the silence, there is a sacred place, a secret meeting place. Love is there. In the silence, where every color blends and every rainbow ends, good is there. In the light, now you find that you know peace of mind. In the silence, your path is paved in gold, and all your dreams unfold. Love is there, peace is there, truth is there, God is there.
And so for a time, let's enter into that silent place where we feel the presence, the power, the peace, the love, and the glory of God. We know there is no place we can ever be that God is not. We know that we live, move, and have our being and expression in the pure opulence of God every moment of every day. Just think about that. What does that mean to be in the presence of God every moment of every day? Pay attention to your breathing for a moment. That is God or life, whatever word you use for it, living you. Move your fingers for a moment. That is God or life moving you. Every atom and every cell of your being is life. Is this presence, this realm of all potentiality waiting for your word so that it can give you the gifts of your heart. Just feel it. In this place, we do as Jesus taught us. He said, when you pray, go into that quiet place. Close the door on all the outer things and feel the presence within you. And so we close our human eyes that see from our attitudes, our opinions, our beliefs, and our perceptions, so that we might open our spiritual eyes and see from a place of truth and love. And we close our human ears that hear from our attitudes, our opinions, our beliefs, and our perceptions, so that we might open our spiritual ears and hear from a place of guidance and instruction. And we close our human mouths that speak words from our attitudes, our opinions, our beliefs, and our perceptions, so that we might open our spiritual mouths and speak words that uplift and heal. And as we do this, as we enter into that place, that quiet place, that place of all potentiality that is within every atom and every cell of your being and my being, we close the door and we rest. Let's begin to feel that radiance, that awakening, because we're becoming aware of life in every atom and every cell of our being. And choose your words. I am healthy, happy, and whole. I am abundant. I am loving, kind, and compassionate. I am beautiful, joyful, peaceful. I am youthful, vibrant, vital, and alive. Whatever words, choose. And that life within you awakens to your word and fulfills it, because it is your decree. It is your word. And it becomes your manifestation. So we feel this energy quicken within us, moving beyond the boundaries of our bodies and into this place, that divine embrace of spirit that embraces all of our friends and family that are with us today. All of our friends and family who aren't with us today. And all of our friends and family who haven't found us yet but will. Divine embrace of spirit. How beautiful. We become one light. We become one life. We become one peace, one love, one kindness, one compassion, and we rest in the silence, in the silence. And if there's someone that you would like to bring into this place of peace and love, wholeness, opulence, and joy, just feel free to speak their name, either silently within your own mind's eye or out loud. Linda, Guy, Kristen, Matt, Matthew, Brandon, Donnie, and as we speak these names silently or aloud, we look beyond the situation, circumstance, and condition. And we see the point of God expressing that light that is within every individual. And we see that light quicken, moving beyond the boundaries of their bodies and being a part of our light. And this light moves beyond the boundaries of this building out into this community and into this state where we feel peace. Everything that is already in manifestation. We bring peace and kindness and compassion and love. We see everything unfolding for the highest good of everyone. We see all the people that are serving and helping, blessed and protected. And all the people that have been affected by the storm, finding that place of peace and trust and love. And this energy moves beyond the boundaries of this state into this country and around this earth. And we bless this earth with love and peace, with kindness and compassion, with a sense of oneness and beauty. And then we let it go, knowing that infinite intelligence knows what to do. Omniscient wisdom knows how to do it, and omnipotent love does it very simply, very gently, and very easily. Father, Mother God, we are grateful for this opportunity to be together, to share together, to celebrate our oneness of spirit together, to feel your presence and your power, to know that you are within all things, in all ways, always. We are grateful, grateful, grateful. And now just take a few deep moment, and this is holy ground. And so it is. Amen.
Amen.
And amen.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debt as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine long, long time now, and I stand in awe of what you do and how you make creation look like heaven's coloring book, a golden sunshine against a pale blue skies, blankets of oceans, know to stop at the sand, mountains and valleys look like you carved them by hand. So let me be first to say, in case you never heard, I'm a fan of your work.
The stars are like diamonds worn on the angels' hands as they dance across the heavens as only they can. A warm summer rain falling down from the sky, and a sweet little birdie just learning how to fly.
You amaze me daily. I see your personal touch on the things you love so much. So let me be first to say, in case you never heard, I'm a fan of your work. Mirrors reflection every day that I see, each line and each wrinkle that's unique to just me. 10 fingers, 10 toes, 2 eyes, lips, and a nose. A masterpiece created by the hands of the greatest. See, you amaze me daily. I see your personal touch on the things you love so much. So let me be the first to say, in case you never heard, I'm a fan of your work.
See, I've been following you for a long, long time now.
Oh yeah,
And I must admit, you still blow my
you still blow my
mind.
Pretty, pretty. Thank you. It's one of my favorites. I like that song a lot. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, I'll take that one. That was good. Thank you all for being here today, and thank you to those of you that are watching with our live streaming Facebook. We're live streaming Facebook, our website, and also on YouTube at this point, thanks to Gonzalo and Jenny, who have put in a lot of time and effort to bring that all into being. One of the things that can happen for us, and again, you are looking at a dinosaur when it comes to Facebook, YouTube, and anything computer and or otherwise related. If you go to YouTube, you can subscribe. It's free. If we get 100 subscribers on our YouTube page or one of our recordings, then we get our own URL, which I guess is a really good thing, is my understanding. Gonzalo says, you'll get this right, Rev Bev, I promise you'll get this right. So please do that, because that helps us get our message out and helps us touch more people every day. So if you would do that, that would be really great. Again, it's a free thing to subscribe and help get us on the map. Also, you know, from time to time, it's really good for us to let you know or remind you who the board members are for Unity Church of Raleigh. So Diane Evans, if you would stand up. and Sharon Tamar, and Laura Dirth, and Mary Butler, and Andy is behind Laura. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and Aaron back on video, and me. So these are the folks that are your board, and they're here to represent you in everything that this church does. And we've got lots of plans and lots of thoughts. We had a board training yesterday, and I thank these folks for being there for 6 hours for this board training on a Saturday that was really pretty outside, but they were here anyway. So thank you. Again, these are your board members, so thank you for what you do. I think that's on my the other piece of this puzzle is for those of you who came expecting Paula Zabkar to be speaking this morning. Paula lives in Wilmington. And I'm going to share with you an adventure about Wilmington in just a few minutes, but it is very difficult to get in and out. She's fine, her house is fine, but getting in and out of Wilmington is not an easy adventure. So we decided it was in her best interest and everyone's that she stay there safe, and that you have me. So. And of course, what that means is I'm not entirely sure where we're going to go with this, but we can be sure we're going to go somewhere, okay? So, but before we do, but first, there was a husband and wife, and they were driving down the road, and they saw a sign that said, Nacogdoches in 30 miles. And they started talking about that name, Nacogdoches. And he was saying it needs to be said this way, and she was saying, no, you say it this way, and they got into a big argument. Sounds like something we would do when we're driving down the road. But anyway, they get into this big argument, and he says, well, when we get to Nacogdoches, we're going to stop somewhere, and I'm going to ask them so I can show you that you're wrong. So 45 minutes, they rode in silence to get to Nacogdoches, and they got there, and there was this fast food restaurant, and they went in to get a Coke, and as they got up to the counter, the husband said, now what I want you to do is I want you to say very slowly and succinctly the name of this place. And the person behind the counter goes, Burger King. So, yeah, there we go. So what we're going to start talking about today is the courage to heal. You know, that is the theme for Unity for this year, is the courage to heal. And healing, there's a difference between healing and curing. And over the next few weeks, we'll be talking about the difference. And there's a difference in every one of the areas of our lives where healing may be necessary. It might be relational, it might be financial, it could be health. And so we'll look at some of those. And then, of course, Matt will be here at the end of the month, which should be a really good lesson and workshop. You know, that just takes it a step further for us in our process of healing, whatever that may look like for us. So when I was thinking about the courage to heal, I thought, well, you know, maybe we could set a foundation. And one of the things that came to my mind was this foundation, because it's something that happened on Thursday for Greg and me. Now, Greg and I are kind of low-key people. We don't get into much trouble. We don't do much stuff. But every now and then, we find ourselves in the middle of an adventure. And so Thursday was one of those things. We have a condo at Carolina Beach, which is past Wilmington. And we were starting to get lots of requests because there are people that need places to stay down there. There are people, you know, like insurance adjusters that need places to be. So, you know, we were getting a lot of activity of people wanting to use the condo. Well, we couldn't in good conscience rent it unless we had seen it, and we hadn't seen it. And of course, we're very close to the ocean, so we didn't know what it would look like. And so we decided that we would go to Carolina Beach to check out the condo so that we could make it available for whoever needed it. So off we went on Thursday. Now, this journey, it really does tie in with this courage to heal, because the first step on any journey is finances or it's physically. We have to make that decision that we want to take the journey. So we made the decision to take the journey. Well, Thursday was a beautiful day. We're driving down I-40, and I-40 is wonderful. And we're, thinking, everybody's not, it's all better today. It's not like they were saying it was, because we're down at the end of the week. Everything is better. We go past the exit to 95 going to Fayetteville, and of course it's closed, but we don't need to go that way, so it didn't really impact us any, did it? Because we have the courage to take this journey. We get down to Magnolia, North Carolina. I've never been to Magnolia, North Carolina. And we had to get off along with 8 miles of traffic at Magnolia, North Carolina. So we did that. And we're still feeling really good about the trip because we got this far and it's good, it's a pretty day. And we get to the top of the hill and we have to turn a particular direction, and there are 2 men from the sheriff's department that are standing there in their uniforms and their hats and looking very serious. And we say, we're trying to get to Wilmington. Will you tell us how to do that? He says, sure. Just go down 24. It connects with 17 through Jacksonville. It's all clear through Jacksonville, and that will take you to Wilmington and on to Carolina Beach. Very simple. When we have the courage to heal and we make the choice to take the journey and we turn within and ask for guidance, the guidance is very simple. Then comes the false prophet. The cell phone. The cell phone, which has Google Maps and a voice that talks to you. So we refer to this as the Goracle. All of a sudden, the Goracle lights up and says, turn right in 600 feet. So I said, Greg, the Goracle is speaking, and if we turn right in 600 feet, we'll get to Wilmington better than 24 and 17 through Jacksonville. And so that's what we did. The adventure. When we have the courage to heal, and we make the choice to heal, and we get the guidance, sometimes the false prophets come up. For example, if it's relationships and we know we need to leave this relationship, we know it. We have the guidance that says, get out of the relationship. And our best friend says, have you really analyzed it from every point? He has some good qualities, or she is really a nice person. Or we say, well, what if I don't find another person? The false prophet has just kicked in, folks. Just gotten off the road. And we're driving, we're going, it's a pretty day. Now, I don't want to diminish what we saw down there, because there was a lot of sadness that you could feel, and I tend to feel that a lot when there's catastrophes that are environmental. And so there's a lot of sadness, and there was just this emptiness and empty feeling like, okay, this has happened, now what do we do? There are places that look great. There are places where the roofs were collapsed. There are places where there was water up to the windows, and there were places where it was perfectly dry. And so we get to a place, and we are going great guns, and we think, boy, we are really doing a great job with our journey. And then we came to a road closed sign with 2 National Guard people. And we say, we're going to Wilmington. Can you tell us the best way? Well, you're going to have to go back to Magnolia, get on 24, 17 to Jacksonville, into Wilmington, and then you'll be just fine. Really? We have to go all the way back to Magnolia? Fit? Kicks in again, and it says 1.2 miles, turn left. There's something very seductive about false prophets, isn't there? When we're doing our journey, when we're finding the courage to heal, isn't there something very seductive about those false prophets that come up that tell us maybe we should do it this other way? And don't we kind of get seduced by it and do it? Did we? Yes, we did. So 1.2 miles, we turned left. And we're driving, and it's a pretty day, and everybody's happy, and so we're going along, and it's a pretty journey in the grass, and everything is going on, and we're going on our journey, and then we see another road closed. So, the false prophet says, you can get around that sign. So we turn right, we turn left again, we get around the sign, and we start driving up the road. There's this old bus that they've turned into a shelter, and people sitting on top of it. Just kind of, there's this stuff going on all around. And there is the Cape Fear River, right there. I think we hit every tributary of the Cape Fear River that you could possibly hit. My husband says, now keep in mind the sun's shining, so there's a lot of reflection on the Cape Fear River that is now over the road and moving in our direction. And he says, I think I see the shoulder of the road, and I bet you we could get up that way. No. No. So we turn around and we go back. We talk to the people at this road closed sign, and they say, the only way to get to is to go back up to Magnolia, go 24 to 17. How many times do we go back to the source when we're on our journey to heal, whatever that is? How many times do we get seduced by the false prophet? Do we have to go back to the source? And guess what? The source's story does not change. Does not change. It stays the same. Follow this road and you will be okay. The false prophet says, turn here. I got a journey in store for you. So, we are now 4 hours into this journey. We go back to Magnolia, where the 2 sheriffs are that we had talked to earlier, and we have to pull up and stop there. And we have to say, we're going to Wilmington. Can you tell us the best way? And the one guy says, was not the first time enough for you? And my husband, of course, said my wife wasn't listening. He didn't do that. 24 to 17 to Jacksonville to Wilmington. So we have to make a decision. Do we do that? Because now we're 4 hours into this event. And we decide, well, we really need to get answers about the condo so that we can do whatever we need to do to whoever needs help and needs a place to stay. So off we go. This is screaming in my ear, turn here. And then we didn't do it. And it's like, don't do it. Don't listen. Put it in the glove compartment. And then it yells from the glove compartment. And I said, no, Greg, let's not listen to it. Let's listen to our guidance. Our guidance said 24 to 17 to Jacksonville to Wilmington. And we started getting in this traffic, and she spoke again. This time she was right, fortunately, because it took off a lot of the traffic. Well, 8 hours later, we arrive in Carolina Beach. Couldn't see anything. Arrive in Carolina Beach. Greg goes up, takes 5 minutes to look at the condo. Everything's great. Gets back in the car. We're going to go have something to eat. No, we're not. Nothing's open. No, we're not going to have anything to eat. So we start our journey back. Now, how many times in our lives when we have the courage to finally say we're going to change something, do we find ourselves having to go back again? Having to go back to square one and starting over again because we let something draw us away from what we knew we needed to do in the first place. See, the courage to heal says sometimes maybe you don't know, Bev. Maybe your humanness doesn't know the right thing to do. If that's the Goracle, I am not here. Whose ever phone that is. We are not speaking to it. Sometimes we have to have the courage to say, like Jesus said, How humbling a statement is this when Jesus said, I of myself can do nothing. It is the Father within me that does the work. Bev can't do it. Bev gives the word. I speak into life what it is that I want to experience, and life fulfills it. But I can't. So, on our journey home, we just reversed the pattern, right? You take 17 up to 24 through Jacksonville to Magnolia, where the 2 sheriffs are still waiting for us to come back again, and then we head home. Well, we started that. We were doing pretty good at it. The false prophet spoke again and said, turn left here. We turned left. We were encouraged because there were these signs that said hurricane evacuation route. That's encouraging, right? It's pitch black, can't see a thing, because why? There's no electricity. And we start off and we're having a good time because the oracle spoke evacuation signs until we got to the sign that said road closed. So we had to turn around. Fortunately, we'd only gone like 8 miles. So we turned around, we went back. We did not deviate from the course all the way home. Now, there are several things to get out of this story. Number one is, first we have to be willing and have the courage to heal whatever the healing is. We have to be willing to do that. The second thing is, we have to be willing to listen to the guidance. And if we don't, there were so many times where we came right on the edge of being in lots of trouble, but we were always protected. The National Guard and the Highway Patrol and all these people have done a wonderful job of blocking where you really can't go. They're not kidding. You really can't. And they've done a masterful job with all these little side streets and all these little ins and outs to keep anybody from getting hurt. We're always protected, even when we try to go against the guidance. And we've probably touched every tributary of the Cape Fear River, almost fell in it a couple of times, did all kinds of things, but we were always protected. And everything that was said to us said, go back to the source. In our courage to heal, it takes courage to go back to the source. It takes courage not to just sit there and say, there's nothing we can do. We'll never get anywhere. We'll never get out of this. Go back to the source. Listen for that guidance again. Follow the guidance. Take your detours if you need to keep doing that. Obviously, we needed to do it for 8 hours before we paid attention. But how important is it in our own personal journey? Take your side steps, but then go back to the source, because that's where you get your guidance. That's where you get your direction. And that's the way that will show us how to get there simply, gently, and easily. So this week, as we move toward part 2 of our courage to heal, think about your own personal journey, where you've gotten guidance and where you didn't listen. And when you can go back to it and start the journey again. Because the source never changes. Okay. The false prophet does. God bless you. Amen.
Well, we're going to take another road trip. This one's a little more certain, I know. 1, 2, 3. We almost traveled down the open road.
Greg Backover original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo.
Heck, if I'd known you were going to do that today, I would have elaborated more. The other interesting part of our journey was when we got to Wilmington, there was one of those signs that you can move around that have the lights that spell out words. And it said, your GPS and your cell phones are not likely to be accurate in this area. And yet, here we are. Let's prepare now for our offering by singing, I See Abundance Everywhere.
I see abundance everywhere. God's rich supply beyond compare. It's ours to use and to enjoy. His gifts to us without alloy. Prosperity, prosperity. I know my own has come to me. God sent His children joy and peace, good health and wisdom and increase. And we are grateful, voices raised to Thee, O God, in hymns of praise.
And in just a moment, our ushers will be receiving our offering. But before they do, I always like to give thanks. And I give thanks to all of you being here and being here last week, too, when we were getting rained on and all kinds of stuff going on. Thank you for being here. For those of you that participate in our 3G giving program, which is an automated giving program, as you know, we're totally supported by you guys. We don't get any extra income from Unity Worldwide Ministry, so we're totally supported by you. And this automatic giving program makes sure and helps us stay consistent with our funds. Even when there are hurricanes, snowstorms, and whatever, we have that consistency of income. So thank you for participating in that and for helping us every Sunday and for being here and loving us unconditionally. And so we take our love offerings in our hands and we bless them as gifts of divine love. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am and have, and all that I give and receive. Together, please. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am and have, and all that I give and receive. And so it is. Amen.
Well, we're happy and grateful that you guys got back safe. Okay, so this song is called, this is by a group called Ephemera, and it's called Happy, Grateful, Aware. Yes, I know I am more positive in the way I live. I stopped worrying about trifles, quit keeping bad ideas, started looking ahead. Many good intentions, many dreams. I never skip the cream. And for all the good times and moments that we share, started looking ahead. Many good intentions, many dreams. I never skipped the cream, but for all the good times, the moments that we share, but for all those situations, sweet atmosphere, I'm happy, grateful, aware. I'm happy, grateful, aware.
Woo-hoo! Yeah.
Thank you.
Wonderful music. Thank you. Great day for music today. Father, Mother God, we are grateful for these gifts that enter this ministry, not only today, but through our 3G automated giving process. We bless the gift and the giver, knowing that they are one and the same and all one with you. We thank you, Father, Mother God, and so it is. Amen and amen.
Amen.
And now let's stand and welcome our kids back by singing We Are Walking in the Light.
We are walking in the light, in the light, in the light. We are walking in the light of God. In the light, in the light, in the light, in the light. We are walking in the light of God. We are walking in the joy, in the joy, in the joy. We are walking in the joy of God.
Got everybody back with us? Okay. Now, when we give our blessing, let's remember that these kids are holding this blessing for all the children in this world. And so, as we bless them, we are blessing all people and all children everywhere. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you. Together, please. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you. And we love, bless, and appreciate all of you. Again, thank you for being here. Keep up with your bulletins and our website about new stuff that's going on and classes that are coming up. And don't forget the azaleas are coming. The azaleas are coming. And that's going to make it really pretty out here. We're grateful to WRAL for letting us have those azaleas and gifting us with those. And so the lock-in for the kids is going to help do the playground area out there. So lots of good stuff going on. With that, let's remember that the light of God surrounds us.
The light of God surrounds us.
The love of God enfolds us.
The love of God enfolds us.
The power of God protects us.
The power of God protects
The
us.
presence of God watches over us.
The presence of God watches over us.
And wherever we are, God is.
Wherever we are, God is.
And all is well.
And all is well.
And now let's join hands and sing, Yes, There Is Peace.
Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, united all of we. Yes, we walk with each
Mother God, how grateful we are to know that our courage to heal begins with going first to you, to getting clear guidance, knowing that it is the easiest, gentle, and most successful way. And when we go to you, we can let go of all the false prophets that go off in our heads telling us to do something different, because we can trust that everything we hear will always be true. We thank you, Father, Mother God, and so it is. Namaste.
Namaste.